Howdy. My name is Derek William Sturm, and this is my book, Will of the Wisps. I am not a professional voice actor, but I am the author. Will of the Wisps is not yet published. It is a YA novel intended to be the first of a series. Please share and enjoy. Wednesday, October 17th. Chapter 36. Caleb. Mr. Ostengard? The girl on my porch is tall. She might be Mexican, but she talks normal. I nod my head and she grins widely before pulling up a clipboard so I can't see her face. I don't like how tall she is. Step back a bit, I tell her, adding, please, to be safe. She obeys, casually dropping down one step off my porch so she is no longer looming over me. She looks up. My name is Lisa Van Kirk, and I'm doing a survey for the Humane Society. She seems young. You seem young. She laughs. Senior project, Mr. Ostengard. We're supposed to blend community outreach with practical application of career-focused skills. When she speaks, she holds up her right hand and does that irritating thing with her fingers to indicate she's quoting someone else, or to mean she thinks the words are ridiculous. What skills? Thank you for asking, Mr. Ostengard. I dislike that she keeps using that old man's name. My project is to collect data from a random selection of citizens regarding their knowledge and opinions of our fair city's feral cat population. She pauses expectantly, and I say nothing. So then we will collate the data into a database where we can run statistical analysis on it and give the information to the Humane Society to inform their policies and outreach. She breathes in after finishing. Nervous now. Good. Not interested. She isn't leaving. I appreciate your position, Mr. Ostengard, but the random selection is difficult. We had to make a database of addresses first from the phone book and then select them at random. If we just went door to door and got info, data, from people who were both home and enthusiastic, then the data would be biased. Why? Okay, so this is actually interesting. My American government teacher says that people who are willing to answer questions have a tendency to be more similar to each other than people who dislike talking to pollsters, which is why all those political polls are always wrong. Besides, they oversample older people who always answer unknown numbers on their phones. And have, landlines. I am busy. Please, Mr. Ostengard, we don't have many houses from your neighborhood, and we can't fudge the numbers to make sure your area isn't underrepresented. My, project advisor said we should try our best to get data from the first set of houses. She laughs again. It's the most captivating laugh I've ever heard. Pure, somehow. I hate it. Everything about her seems genuine and full of life. I look around the neighborhood. It's getting late, but the sun is still full in the sky, and the man across the street is watching us as he plays catch with his young son. Or daughter, who can tell these days? I look back to see she is still smiling. Tell me if you are lying to me. I am lying to you. She looks confused, then frightened. My project advisor actually told us we would have to hit houses until we had 50 surveys, and I really don't want to be knocking on doors when the snow comes. The smile returns, and she seems utterly believable. I just love skiing. So much. Quickly, then. Okay, how many people live in this residence? I thought this was about cats. All the data is useful, Mr. Ostengard. Don't call me Mr. Ostengard. Her eyes widen. Age? 36. Occupation? Now that is an interesting question. Management. Have you seen any feral cats in the last year? No. What about cats roaming the neighborhood freely, Mr. Caleb? And I don't recall seeing any cats around here. She is looking in my eyes, but I can't tell what she's thinking. It would be so easy to tell her to come inside and question her at my leisure, but the man across the street is still watching us. Him, at least, I can visit tonight. She opens her mouth a few times to speak, but has trouble deciding what to say. Finally, she looks back at the clipboard for answers. And is your wife home? I'm not married, and you've gotten enough answers from me. Yes, I have all the answers I need. Have a good evening, Caleb. For the first time since answering the door, I smile at her. You too, Lisa Van Kirk. Chapter 37. Franky. Fuck. I run, taking random turns for like 10 blocks before I manage to circle back to the alley behind Amber's house. Why did I park in view of his house? Did he see me get out of Dad's car? Is he Googling it right now? Fuck! The screen door to Amber's solarium is unlocked, as always. I maneuver past overgrown aloe plant and late tomatoes to check the thicker door, also unlocked, and burst into the kitchen to find Amber and her mother preparing dinner. Francesca, is that how you dress for October? It takes me a few moments to catch my breath. Yes, Miss Thibodeau. I mean, it's not that cold yet. Your face is as red as a cherry tomato, Francesca. If I were you, I would listen less to your phone and more to your body. A woman's body always tells her when something is wrong. Mom, Amber peeps, softly, but Mrs. Thibodeau doesn't seem to hear. Will you be joining us for dinner, Francesca? I'm afraid my daughter never sees fit to inform us of her plans, despite repeated examples as to the consequences of poor communication. No, I mean, yes, I would love to, if that's all right, but Amber didn't know. Amber's mom raises one eyebrow and turns to look at Amber, who manages to look more frightened than I feel. I was jogging. I mean, I'm a jogger now, so... My mind scrambles. But I got too hungry? Yeah, I think I might collapse if I don't eat something. I suggest you start with water then, Francesca. Amber can make up a place setting for you while you freshen up. Seconds later, and Mrs. Thibodeau has managed to put a glass of filtered water into my hands, with ice cubes, and pushed me out into the dining room. Amber's dad and her brother Eric are already seated at the table, thumbing away at their phones. Her dad looks up and smiles at me. I can never remember his name, only that it's super old-fashioned, like something from a BBC show. He's black, or like half-black, maybe? Darker than Amber and Eric is all I know. Franky, what a pleasant surprise. Victoria is making she-crab soup tonight. Did you hear about Eric's big game? No. I look over to see Eric's eyes do the quick up-down on my body before going back to his video game. It's one of those fantasy ones with the big-breasted elves and lingerie armor you buy with real money. I can smell his armpits from here. Yes, Coach Lumbar finally saw fit to pull him off the bench. Between you and me, the man's a bit underqualified, doesn't seem to know how to encourage all the athletes to grow their skills. But since I've taken over Eric's training personally, it was just a matter of time before his qualities were obvious even to a charlatan like Lumbar. Eric rolls his eyes. There is no doubt in my mind that the last thing he wants to do is play football, but I know better than to argue with Amber's parents. The pair of them deal with disagreement the same way a freight train does, by running it over without even noticing. I thought Eric was looking bulkier. Some jokes even I can't resist. Eric glares at me. Mr. Thibodeau beams at what he takes to be a compliment on his own talent as a trainer. Then I remember the escape hatch that Amber's mom built for me. I need to go freshen up. Once in their bathroom, I lock the door and lean on the counter. I just breathe in all the pink for a bit, letting the fluffy toilet seat and all the crocheted covers for tissues and replacement toilet paper calm my heartbeat. I look at baby pictures and labeled toothbrushes and all the telltale signs of suburban living gone amok. Anywhere but the mirror. Soaking it in, I manage to calm down. Then I drink some of the ice water. Luke texts first. Amber must still be busy helping her mom with dinner. I start typing. He has fucking mind control powers. Did he get you? Are you all right? I'm okay. He made me tell him I was lying. But I lied again, and he believed me. Anyone else? Anyone else? Fuck, I'd almost told the group chat about my powers. Thankfully, Thomas joins in, and I just kind of let Luke get distracted by the flow of conversation. Where are you now? Amber's. The car is down the block. From his house, though. Glad you're safe. Luke catches on to the fact that he's being an insensitive asshole and seems to forget my slip-up. I'm glad you're safe, too. Exactly what happened? He told me to step back, and to tell him if I was lying. Thank God he didn't demand I tell him the truth. Thomas responds. He needs to speak? I think so. Luke again, doing that thing he does when he always corrects his spelling and grammar before sending like my parents do. I'm sorry we put you at risk, Franky. Did you learn anything? Yeah, said his name is Caleb, but no one else lived there. But he also said he was Mr. Ostergrad. Well, we can look into the name Caleb Ostengard. Kay, I need to eat dinner now because Amber's parents. After that, I put my phone on silent and pocket it before the boys can respond. If Creepy Hot Dog Man had only said, tell me the truth instead of, tell me if you are lying, I would be boned. There is no way he would have let me leave after hearing about all the other Wisps. Unless he isn't dangerous. I mean, all he's done so far is sell more hot dogs, right? Right? Saturday, October 20th. Chapter 38. Amber. Aside from Luke clattering away at the keys of my laptop and Mia flipping through the menu, the table is dead silent. Franky seems unconcerned, which has to be an act because I caught her crying in the school bathroom 4 times this week. Thomas and her are holding hands across the table. Can I get waffles? Mia asks, and Franky nods in reply. They come with whipped cream here, she adds, as if we need an explanation. Get extra, Thomas tells her. My treat, go nuts. Mia makes a slight squealing sound and begins bouncing in her chair before Franky stops her with a hand and a look. Okay, I think I got the spreadsheet all set up, Luke announces. Who wants to start? Me, Mia says, but waffles first. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. By silent accord, we all wait for the waitress to return and take our orders. I encircle my hands around the warm cup of Sheila's coffee. It's too sweet, even for me. I might have been distracted when spooning in the fake sugar. Okay, Mia begins once the waitress is gone. So SK wants to join us and do superhero stuff. We can start with your supervillain guy, Caleb. He's got a list of power recommendations. You weren't supposed to tell him about Caleb, Mia, Franky hisses. I didn't. I said, I might know of a real bad guy, is all. SK needed some cheering up after he wasn't able to find any muggers. Mia places her hand over her heart to emphasize her honesty, and nearly knocks Luke's water onto my laptop. He steadies the glass before it can tip, though. For all we know, SK is Caleb, Mia, Luke mentions, and not for the first time, while carefully wiping water off his hand. Lukey, relax. This friend of Mia's reached out to her before Franky exposed herself, and Mia has never been anywhere near the hot dog guy. I think we can rule that out. Plus, if he was sus of Franky when she was at his door, then, not to be morbid, but... Franky pulls her hand out of Thomas's. Exposed myself? Don't make it sound like I flashed him. So what is our exposure? I ask, trying to lighten the mood a bit by saying the last word in kind of a funny voice. Mia laughs, but she's the only one. Luke counts off on his fingers. 1, Franky's face. If he's suspicious of any of us, it's her, so we cannot let him see her again. 2, the car. He might have noticed it parked on the street before Amber went back to get it. At which point all his shades were drawn, I remind them. Franky scoffs. His shades were drawn when I went there too. They're always drawn. We shouldn't have driven here in the car, I groan. Nobody bothers to mention the obvious, that Franky's dad's car was our only option for picking up the entire gang and bringing them to a place where nosy parents wouldn't interrupt. Anything else? Luke asks after a moment, but no one can think of anything. So can we meet with SK then? Mia presses again. He's an idiot, but he knows about the Wisps and has powers from them, so he should be part of the club, right? And he knows that you have powers too, Mia. I wonder why that is. Franky seems to shout without raising her voice above a whisper. Mia slinks down in her seat. I didn't tell nobody nothing. Can't Mia send a group text with him without giving away our identities, like use a different app or something? We take some time comparing messaging apps until we find one that no one has an account on yet. By the time everyone is signed up, our food has arrived. The blueberries on Mia's waffle look long past their due date. My own egg white omelet is pristine, but I have no appetite. Item number 2, name research. Thomas. Yeah, I looked into every Caleb Austin guard with the social media. Found a Caleb Austin guard Instagram, and a dude named Caleb marrying a woman with the last name Austin Guard, but they both spelled them with a double A. The single A is less common spelling. Double-checked Grandma and Grandpa's Facebook to verify it. If there is a Caleb with one A Austin Guard in existence, he does not have social media under his name. What about the guy on Instagram? Luke asks. Well, aside from the wrong spelling, he's not our guy. I mean, unless he's posting someone else's workout selfies and only takes pictures in local places I have never seen. So do people think it's fair to assume that Creepy Hot Dog Man's name is not Caleb Austengard? There is a general mumble of assent to Luke's question. Franky, how sure are you that he was telling the truth about being named Caleb? I mean, pretty sure. She leans over to dip a mozzarella stick into Thomas's ranch while considering the question. He was, kind of frustrated and snapped it pretty suddenly. He didn't need to think of it or anything. Plus, why wouldn't he give me his real first name? If I had all that power, I wouldn't be afraid of anyone. I wouldn't be afraid of anyone even if I had no powers, Thomas jokes. No one laughs. Item number 3, the Austin Guards. Franky, what did you come up with? Well, obviously they haven't posted on Facebook for a bit. 57 days for Heather, and Daniel is a few months longer. She checks her phone. 114 days? But he almost never posts. Heather is like 4 or 5 a week, mostly pictures and recipes. Huge bursts whenever they see their adopted daughter, but she hasn't been home since last Christmas. They both list their occupation as retired, so we can't check in there. Do you think I should pose as a friend or something and reach out to the daughter? No, I say. Everyone looks at me. Franky, if something bad happened to them, you would wind up on police radar as a suspect. Let's put a pen in that for now. Thank you, Franky. Item number 4, the Oni. Amber, what did you manage to glean from 2 flowers? Chapter 39. 2 flowers.
The word is desire. It is useful to know what all words mean. Perhaps the most useful ability that those of my kind possess. But it is strange. Strange because Amber, who does not possess this ability, who, like all her kind, must expend time and energy to know the truth of words, is able to select which words to use so easily. I believe it is because of their lack of precision that they are so capable. Humans do not have to compare each word to every other in order to capture the single word that is correct. I desire this ability. But more than that, I desire the ability to taste. All humans are doing so now. Mia enjoys her tasting the most, and Amber the least. I am projecting on the surface of her beverage. This is the ideal location, because with each sip, she touches her lips to my projection, which is called a kiss. Amber has told me that mothers often kiss their children, and I have seen this demonstrated by Amber's mother, who is called Victoria. I desire Amber to be my mother, and she has said that she is, that wishing makes it so. Wishing is active desire. Because Amber sips less than her friends, and because I desire her to sip, I make her beverage sweeter. This is accomplished by transforming molecules within the concoction from one form into another. The new form is called sucrose. Sweetness is a thing found desirable by humans, a positive. Its direct definition, denoting a sufficient percentage of sugars within an object of taste, is extended to its metaphorical definition, which applies to people and their behaviors. They refer to each other as sweet when they mean thoughtful, considerate, or kind. Sweetness is to be desired, and sweet things are more desirable. It is this learning that enables me to increase the sweetness of Amber's beverage. I am learning much. I do not belong in this world. I cannot, in truth, exist here. I can only project. Because of my projection, Amber has labeled me a tourist, a title for one who visits a location to learn and experience the differences between that location and their own. For pleasure. Pleasure is the fulfillment of a desire. Tourist is not my name. I requested from Amber to make tourist my name, because of the comfort it gave her to think of me in such terms. However, tourist cannot be a name. It is a title. So my true name, that given to me by my mother, is Two Flowers. He is the most famous tourist from literature. And, just like that, I became a he. That one called Poco has become a she. Amber is a she, and Franky and Mia, Thomas and Luke are like me, as much as humans can be like me. They are speaking now.
They cannot speak to people unless people believe in them?
The he called Luke.
Not exactly. Well, they don't speak, for one. They project their words into our minds.
Mother.
Words? You mean thoughts?
The she called Franky.
Yeah, I'm not super clear on the difference, but Two Flowers was adamant that he was only sharing words, not thoughts. When I pressed him on it, we really didn't get very far. It's like, cooking, I guess. Projecting the words takes more effort than just talking. They have to select the words first, like picking out ingredients for a recipe. Then they arrange them in our heads.
Mother.
Maybe get back to the part where we all clap if we believe in fairies?
The he called Thomas, whose fear is now mine to possess.
Right. So they do not exist here in our dimension or plane or reality or whatever. They come from their own place, and to get here, they have to project from a surface, like my living room wall.
Mother.
Or the brick wall of the coal block where I first saw the Oni.
The he called Luke.
Exactly, but they can't even do that unless there is an invitation?
Mother.
Invitation? So they're vampires?
The he called Thomas, whose fear is now mine to possess.
Okay, I need you guys to cut me some slack on the words. Two Flowers gets very firm about the words, almost like agitated if you use the wrong ones. Words matter to Wisps.
Mother.
We're sorry, Amber. And Two Flowers, please keep going.
The she called Franky.
So Mia was talking to Poco, her imaginary friend from childhood, and at some point in the process she must have believed in him, like truly believed. And that belief is like an invitation. And the invitation creates a kind of thinness. That's my word. Two Flowers hates it. That allows Wisps to project.
Mother.
I get it. They can touch our world near anyone who believes in them, but once they're touching it, they can touch the minds of people nearby, people that might not believe, but have an easier time of it once they hear the voices.
The he called Luke.
Yes, exactly. Poco received an invitation from Mia. Then, when Franky and I went to talk to Mia about it a few days after the accident, I guess there was enough belief or enough need in Mia for us to believe that Mr. Deep Voice and Two Flowers were able to come through as well.
Mother.
Which explains why people getting powers from Wisps are so rare, historically.
The he called Luke.
So the Oni isn't connected to us?
The she called Franky.
I think so, yes. They have to be disconnected. Caleb must have given the Oni an invitation on his own, which is why I see it projecting near him. And you're sure that Two Flowers doesn't know this other Wisp?
The he called Luke.
Yeah, they don't get out that much in Wisp World. Get this. Poco, Mr. Deep Voice, and Two Flowers are all siblings, like they share the same parent. One parent, singular. The Wisp that created them only seems to care about listening to music, which it is apparently capable of projecting into our reality to do. Someone traded their hearing to it a long time ago, and that is all it cares about. So when Poco found a way in with Mia, her two brothers hitched a ride, and Two Flowers only ever interacted with his parent and siblings before us.
Mother.
What about Mia's friend? If he got his powers from the Oni, then he could be connected to Creepy Hot Dog Man already.
The he called Thomas, whose fear is now mine to possess.
No way. He had to get them from one of ours. Mia said he already knew about her healing powers.
The she called Franky.
Yeah, and he knew Poco's name, but Poco swears she didn't do a trade with him.
The she called Mia.
Two Flowers says he only made the one trade with Thomas.
Mother.
Mr. Deep Voice.
Several of the humans in harmony. I am concerned to hear them talking about that one they call Mr. Deep Voice. That one is not like the one they call Poco. That one is arrogant. That one is competitive. That one swore to us that it would be the first to possess the power of hearing, the first to possess the power of creation. That one ridicules our trades. That one took Mother's womb. That one speaks often of what he took from Mother and what he will take from others, while Poco and I make less and less trades over time. I do not like that one. The word is bully.
Chapter 40. Thomas. I could kill him. The thought circles my head like a shark circling a doomed raft. It would be easy. The others are obsessing over Mr. Deep Voice now, and composing Mia's first message to SK about joining our new group chat. But they're not the problem. They didn't scare Franky. She seems fine now, but I remember the text that she sent me Wednesday night, the one she didn't share with the others. How could they understand? Why would they care? Why do I care? An interesting question. I know I can't actually be afraid for Franky's safety. Two Flowers has my fear now. Is it love? I doubt it. I mean, I like Franky. She's cool and fun to be around, and she is smoking hot. Way out of my league, that's for sure. But I don't really think I love her. We're not even official yet. Maybe we should be? Seems like a minor thing compared to everything else that's going on. Luke clears his throat. Item number 5, Wisp research. So the term wisp comes from Will-O-the-Wisps, which are kind of already disproven. You hear that, Two Flowers? You don't exist, Mia jokes around a mouthful of waffles.
I do not possess the ability to hear, Mia.
Yes, well, obviously Two Flowers exists, Luke continues. What I mean is that the sightings of the creatures are due to swamp gas and bioluminescence from fungi. Same thing they said about aliens, Lukey. I give Mia a wink and squeeze Franky's hand so she doesn't feel left out. Since we know that wisps are real and false sightings of wisps are also real, it doesn't matter. What does matter is that, in folklore, wisps promise to help one fulfill their hopes and dreams. But it is a trap. No matter how far into the swamp you follow them, you never catch them. And, well, you die. Which might just be from drowning in a swamp, not from interactions with beings like Two Flowers and Poco. So that was a dead end, and
You are welcome to try your experiment, Luke. I am not offended.
Wait, what is he talking about, Luke? Amber goes from 0 to furious in 5 seconds flat. I can feel Franky's hand tense under mine. Luke raises his own hands in protest. I would never try anything potentially lethal on Two Flowers. Lethal? Amber shrieks, attracting the attention from a dozen people in the restaurant.
It is okay, Amber. Luke merely wants to see if my attention can be distracted by molecules of sucrose and sodium chloride.
Yes, okay. I've been researching how to kill fairies. No point in hiding it, since you can't hide anything from anyone anymore. Luke puts down his hands and takes turn meeting us all in the eye. He's getting a bit angry now himself. According to myth, if you scatter sugar or salt in front of a fairy, they have to stop everything they're doing and count the grains. Mia's chewing fills a few moments of silence before Luke begins speaking again. Both can be harmful if tossed directly on the fairy, so we don't want to do that. Damn right we don't, Amber whispers, fiercely.
I am not projecting from the surface of the table, Luke. You should not be able to harm me if you scatter the grains there.
Slowly, Luke reaches out and pulls a packet of sugar from the metal thing on the table that holds all the stuff. He goes to tear it, then changes his mind and hands it to Amber. She nods, opens it, and shakes it out in a semicircle in front of her.
I feel no compulsion to count. I am sorry, Luke. I know that this is important to you.
I wait for a bit to see if anyone else is going to speak. You find any other ways to kill Oni in Mr. Deep Voice? Typical of Luke to focus on complicated solutions. What's important is taking out the dude that threatened Franky. Should I use my dad's gun? I mean, he's got plenty, but his 9mm is probably the best choice. Both because it's concealable and because he never checks to see if it's still at the top of a hall closet. Silver, maybe. Iron can bind them, maybe kill them. There are, apparently, dozens of spells said to banish them for a period of time. Actually, it's usually cold iron specifically, but I literally cannot find anyone who agrees on what cold iron is. Some sources say it was poetic. Some said it was meant pure iron, like without other metals or impurities. Could be silver, but an unknown ally of some sort that people don't bother making because its only purpose is, killing fairies. Problem with guns is the noise. Can't use a silencer. Silencers don't even exist, I think. The real things just kind of protect your ears, right? But if I tried to stab him or something, then I would be getting too close. All he needs to do is talk. What if just set his house on fire when he's asleep? Would his pet wisp wake him up?
I don't think so, Thomas. I have never heard of one of my kind doing anything for a human outside of trade, other than providing information about trading. I may be the first. Have you considered a bow and arrow?
No! Mia exclaims, practically popping out of her seat. I've been asking for a spirit bow for weeks now. There is no way Thomas gets one first. Chapter 41. Luke. What is going on? I ask slowly, while Franky is getting Mia settled back in her seat. Two Flowers, we've talked about this. You can't be making comments about people's private thoughts without giving the rest of us some context. It makes everyone uncomfortable. Can't you just stop reading our minds? I ask Amber when she finishes. She shakes her head.
I cannot hear, Luke. If I did not project my awareness into surrounding minds, I could not follow the conversation myself.
Thomas rocks back in his chair and puts his hands behind his head, not quite smirking. Well, since I've been outed, let's make it official. Item number, what are we on, 7? 6, says Franky, automatically. Sure, item number 6. Murder.
Amber has requested that no one speak their thoughts out loud. I may be unable to give you privacy from my intrusion into your own minds, but I am able to give you privacy here, at this table, from other patrons of the establishment known as Sheila's. I will relay your thoughts to the others so that no one says anything incriminating. Amber is now telling me to advise you to label your thoughts specifically to be relayed so that I don't make you uncomfortable. Franky would like me to inform you that it is a little too late for that.
I close Amber's laptop and try to formulate a message. Let's see. Two Flowers, can you please tell the group that under no circumstances will I vote to kill a human being?
Amber and Luke are against ending the life of the man who calls himself Caleb.
Franky, Mia, are you serious? I say this out loud, too shocked to care. Franky has the good grace to look embarrassed, but Mia doesn't react at all. After a few moments, Thomas barks a short laugh.
This is new to me, so if I make mistakes, I apologize. I have just relayed a message from Mia to Thomas alone as per her request. Is this appropriate?
Hey, Mia objects. Thomas laughs again. I vote to let Mia do her spirit bow trade. Who's in?
Mia would like to know if I am allowed to vote on trades. Amber believes that I should.
Tell them that adding more votes means more than 2 would be required, I think, to Two Flowers. The vote of the person wanting to make the trade would only be a tiebreaker. The fairy repeats my message to all of them, then relays a few more.
A majority of people have voted to allow me a vote under Luke's exception. I appreciate your trust in me and pledge to not violate your confidence in me. Thomas suggests that my vote will simply double Amber's. I understand why Thomas might believe this. Allow me to show otherwise by adding my vote to his for Mia to be allowed to make her trade with Poco.
Two Flowers? Amber says, in surprise.
I believe Mia has had time to think about the consequences of trading away her ability to create new life, and it pains me to see Mia continue to suffer her injuries. I believe I shall vote in favor of most trades after a period of time for the person proposing the trade to reflect on whether they truly desire it.
Franky breathes out. That's a pretty good point, actually. I mean, the original proposal was to give us all time to hear about the trade and brainstorm consequences and stuff. We can't exactly tell other people what is valuable to them. Seeing as how the conversation has moved on from Thomas's homicide proposal, I don't bother sending a message through the Wisp. Okay, then let's talk about the consequences. I'd be fine with Mia's bow, but I am not fine with her giving up her womb. Relax, Mia. It's not about you. It's about Poco. We can't begin to imagine the consequences of letting her have children. We don't know what powers Poco needs apart from the womb. or how long it takes wisps to mature enough to make trades. But we do know that there are 4 here already, 2 of which are making trades outside this group. Can we risk more?
Amber is asking me to inform all of you of what I know regarding how my species reproduces. Luke is correct in fearing that only a single trade is required. We possess the ability to spark life innately, but cannot grow life. My siblings and I were all told this by our Creator. Trade for a womb with a human female, and you can know the misery that is mine.
Wait, Franky says. You mean your, parent or whatever, they told you not to have kids?
Misery is a feeling unknown to me, but I understood it has a negative connotation. Having experienced fear, I have no desire to experience other such emotions.
So why would Poco want a womb? I ask.
I do not know. Would you like me to summon that one you call Poco to our conversation?
You can do that? Franky asked softly. Can you summon any of them? Like, don't do it, but could you bring the Oni to us?
I can invite that one, yes. Well, with Amber on her stakeout, I was able to learn that one's specific... One moment, I am consulting Mother. The word is frequencies. I was able to learn its frequencies, so I may communicate with it anytime I wish.
Hey, Mia says, perking up. What if I made the trade with 2 flowers instead of Poco? Spiribo for womb, because, he doesn't even want to have kids, right?
Correct, Mia. I have no desire to experience misery, but I will need you to think of the spirit bow using more explicit language so I can provide the desired trait.
I start searching my mind for some argument to stop the trade, but it's too late. Amber and Franky switch their votes before I can open my mouth. Chapter 42. Caleb. Lifting the curtains aside a few inches, I verify that the man across the street is still sitting at his window, which means that no one has approached my house during the night. I may have been too cautious when deciding not to take the cart out today. Thanks to my new thralls and their distrust of banks, I have plenty of ready cash on hand. The real concern is that my failure to go to work might be noticed. There are plenty of food reserves for him and his son, and I will be ready to speak to his wife when she returns from the airport. Will the son be missed at school? I send the man a text message ordering him to call and inform the school not to worry. There is a smell. Feces. I turn and look at my first 2 thralls in their position by the door. Tell me why you did not go to the bathroom when you felt the need, as you were instructed, I order the male. Didn't know. Can't control it sometimes, it answers. Go clean yourself up and put on new clothes, I tell it. Then, to the woman, once he has removed his clothes, put them in a garbage out back and clean up any messes he makes while cleaning himself. They shamble off to carry out my orders. I have to stop them and order them to put their guns away. Sometimes I cannot tell if my thralls are stupid or acting that way as some sort of misplaced resistance to my management. I will get better ones soon, but I must be patient. No one must suspect the powers I possess. Chapter 43. Reid. Yo, kid. Send Mr. Deep Voice over to me. Tell him it's fearless. The message comes from T-Train123, one of the 4 other people that Mia put in the message chain on the app she set up, so Luke or Thomas. The 4 of them had been grilling me all afternoon, and it was a little weird to get a DM from only one of them. Is it secret? Does he not want the others to know? My moms are watching some, medieval British drama on TV, but not cool medieval with dragons and wizards, just lace dresses and women who fan themselves and talk about their corsets being a little too tight. Seeing me look up, Mama Irma slides the popcorn over to me before giving Mom a quick peck on the cheek. I quickly stroll back to the original thread and look what Mia's group sent me earlier. After a few minutes, I find it. If you want to join us, no trades without a vote. I send a message back to the mystery man. Don't you need to vote? You always do what you're told? What if Mia was gonna die if you didn't trade? I don't like Mia. I send the first text on instinct, then quickly follow it up. Not like, she's a friend. Heroes don't save friends? Hook me up, little dude. I'm not little. Whoever this guy is, he reminds me of James Rubio and all the other bullies. Mom is laughing and pulling the popcorn back now across the couch to get it away from Business, our one-eyed rescue cat. Biz fakes disinterest in the bowl and curls into my lap. Word, you stand up for yourself. Tell the truth. You got honor, my man. I'm a hero. Well, I'm not, but I'm trying to be one, and I need the power to protect those guys, Mia and her sister. Why did they vote no? No vote, man. No vote. I don't want to worry them, you know? They're not like us. They don't know yet. They're afraid. I scratch Biz lightly behind his ears and think about the stuff they were saying in the group text earlier. It's true, they did seem afraid. One of them, Mia's sister, I think, kept making rude comments about this not being a game and me not taking anything seriously. But it's her that's not taking anything seriously if there's a villain with wisp powers out there. And they won't even tell me where he is. I start typing out a question, then think better of it. The time for questions is done. Real men act. An idea enters my head that makes me smile. Make a trade with me. That's what I'm talking about. Tell me about the supervillain. Then I will ask Barker to see you. I named it Barker BTW. Whichever of Franky's friends I'm talking to doesn't waste time. He gives me this Caleb's address and describes where he sells hot dogs in the Gulch. Mind control powers? That's like the suggestion spell from D&D, but there's no saving throw. I mean, why would there be a saving throw? That's not how the real world works. This is not a game. I would have told you anyway. I can tell you're the real shit. Thanks. I'm Thomas BTW. Read. I send the text before I can consider whether or not telling Thomas my name is a good idea. This app lets you delete messages, but the icon by my name shows he's already read it. Hey, maybe don't visit Caleb yet. Once I trade, we can plan. Barker, I think. There is someone named Thomas that wants to make a trade with you.
This one knows, Reid. This one was curious how your electronic conversation would proceed.
Will you go to him?
This one is best at making trades. It is the purpose for which this one is created. This one will go.
You can find him?
This one has traded with Thomas before. He was satisfied. Humans that trade with this one are satisfied most. Are you not satisfied, Reid?
Am I? No. I will never be satisfied with people like Caleb exist. People who pervert the powers of heroes to violate the will of others. People who hurt girls like Mia's sister. Or trade for powers of corruption like mind control and invisibility. I am justice, and justice is never satisfied. My phone beeps again. Another person from the group text reaching out privately. You've just listened to Part 6 of Will of the Wisps, Chapters 36 through 43 of 108 chapters. The book is finished, but the audio is in progress. All of it will be on this channel eventually. I'm looking for a literary agent and publisher, so please tell your friends to get the word out. If you are a literary agent or publisher, please contact me at this channel. It's just me, so I will get your message. And finally,
Go nuts with comments and criticisms. Help me make it perfect before publication. Thank you.